Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So, today I do have some great things to share with you guys. It does look like a turnaround is right around the corner, and going to tell you why. All right. So, first things first, Bitcoin is still at 60,800, but a little bit better than yesterday when it fell down even lower, right? And even earlier this week when it did fall even lower than that. So, Bitcoin's going sideways, but I got some really good news in terms of a turnaround. Okay, number one, the ETFs finally started seeing inflows. You could see we had 7 massive outflow days, but then we started getting inflows. In fact, the inflow on Friday was pretty significant, $73 million worth. And IBIT continues to get more and more and more inflow. In fact, on Friday, IBIT itself got 82 million. So Larry Fink, he knows what's going on, right? I reported that he's using his other funds to buy IBIT. That's probably the reason why IBIT has seen no outflows because he's using other funds and probably other companies that he has that continues to buy and buy and buy it, right? So he knows. Unlike the others like Fidelity or Grayscale or others that have massive outflows, BlackRock has no outflows. During that extended selling week, no outflows whatsoever. So think about that. Okay. Maybe he knows something's going on. Maybe he's the one that's manipulating the prices, telling others to sell, right? But what I do know is this. If you look at what he's doing, that is the correct option, basically to hodl. Hodl, and when you can, DCA. That's exactly what BlackRock is doing with IBIT right now. Okay. Now, that's number one. ETF inflows, that's terrific. Okay. No more outflows, at least right now. The last 4 days, inflow. Let's see this next week, but inflows are always good. And here's the second thing that shows an imminent turnaround is right around the corner, and that is miner capitulation. Okay. I've talked about how some miners are selling, they can't survive. So they are dumping and they're closing operations. In fact, if you look at the hash rate drawdown, which means a ton of mining machines have been turned off, so the hash rate is actually coming down. Yes, the network can measure it. This is as low as the bottom point after FTX. That was all the way December 2022. And I know you guys, a lot of you guys remember that when we had a lot of black swans in 2022, right? So the hash rate drawdown right now is as bad as when FTX collapsed. So that kind of shows you too that the miners, even though a lot of them have left, a lot of them have dumped, whenever miners capitulate and finally stop selling, that's when things turn around in a big, big way. So those are the two sides, the two signals, ETF inflows and now miner capitulation, right? I know a lot of you guys don't believe that a turnaround can happen. But you know what? Just I got a funny story to share with you guys. It's not funny, but it's a legit story. I last night I was out with someone that I haven't seen for a very, 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 very long time. Very long time. One of my friends' friends. And we were talking about Bitcoin. And here's the thing. He said, I heard about Bitcoin years ago when it's $1,000. I didn't take the time to learn more about it. And I still don't know enough about it. But back then, I didn't know where to go to buy Bitcoin. So I never did. And I'm like, my friend, do you realize that had you bought Bitcoin at that time, that was probably 7 years ago in 2017, you'll be up at least 60x just with Bitcoin. 60x, that's within 7 years. What other investment, take a second to think about, has gone up 60x in 7 years? Almost nothing. Maybe Nvidia. I don't even know if Nvidia did it, right? And yeah, and this person is feeling pretty stupid. And I'm not calling them out because I'm just saying there are a lot of people that are like this. They keep waiting, they keep holding, they keep maybe hearing the FUD and think that, hey, this is not a good time to buy. Everyone thinks so. But then when you zoom out a few years, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, then you realize, oh my God, I had a golden opportunity to buy, right? Imagine going back in time and being able to buy Bitcoin at $1,000, okay? Or even $15,000 by, at the low point of 2023. Bitcoin was at 15,000. That wasn't that far off, right? But think about it. So that's why I keep telling guys to stay focused, stay encouraged, and continue to hold on DCA because that's the right strategy. That's the only strategy you need to employ to make massive amount of gains with Bitcoin and crypto. Now, other things that are positive. Michael Dell put out a tweet, a poll about the most important thing: AI, Bitcoin, love and relationship, none of the above. Guess who won? Bitcoin. Even though there's 2 hours left, we know that it's going to be Bitcoin, right? So Michael Dell may be turning into Bitcoin bull soon, right? He knows about Bitcoin, has stayed quiet about Bitcoin for such a long time, but Michael Saylor kind of forced his hand. Now he may be turning to Bitcoin and allowing purchase of Dell computers and services and servers with Bitcoin. Even Dave Pointer, even though we know Dave Portnoy is a big lettuce hand, he flips flop all the time. And now he's represented by Kraken, right? But he says he'll buy $10 million of Bitcoin and put it in the treasury at Barstool Sports if Bitcoin dips below 50,000, which I don't think that's the case. And Dave should really just buy the $10 million, right? Because if you're trying to time it, you could completely miss it if Bitcoin turns around and then he'll regret it. So that's just the reality. But again, so many people are now coming around, learning about Bitcoin, and adding Bitcoin to their treasury. That's the right play for corporate treasuries. And as for long term holders, well, 65% haven't moved a single Bitcoin in more than a year. Okay. That is near all time high. A little bit lower than earlier this year and back in March, right? We dipped down a little bit. You can see on the right hand side, we did that a little bit. But overall, still way higher than 2021 and way higher than 2017. So again, as time goes on, more and more people are learning about Bitcoin and holding it. And that, again, is the right move. Remember, Bitcoin goes up because it's scarce. It's a supply and demand asset. And more people are holding it, and there is a set supply. That means, right, the price will follow. It's really that simple. And we have a lot of charts, guys, charts left and right that show you that we are moving according to plan. Again, if you look at this one, we're moving according to plan, just like the 2017 cycle. The 2021 cycle is a little bit different because of COVID and everything. But if you look at 2017 cycle, we're following it almost exactly to the T. Nothing has really changed. Yes, we're going through some FUD. We always go through some FUD every single cycle. And then we continue forward, right? Just look at it. We are mimicking previous cycles almost to the T, right? And if you're wondering where Bitcoin could end up at the end of the cycle, well, upper bound 4.5 million, lower bound 140 million, 140,000. So I'm going to say somewhere in the middle. I'm going to say around 200, $250,000. Okay. I spoke to a lot of people last night, and surprisingly, the place I was at, actually, a lot of people invested in Bitcoin. A lot of people wanted to know about Bitcoin, and I told them stay strong. Bitcoin is 60,000 now. Next year, 200,000 is right around the corner, right? And I truly believe that. I truly believe we have barely started this cycle. The parabolic stage has not hit yet. And when it does, it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. All right, last few things. Spot ETF for Ethereum may be delayed a little bit. Still anticipated to come out in July, but maybe delayed it a little bit because of the comments from the SEC. Okay, but you know, on Thursday, we got the very first application for Solana ETF, and now we have a second one. So we got Van Dyke and 21 shares. It is definitely building. I think I'm because I like Solana and I do think that Gary Gensler really doesn't care anymore. I do think that there's a 50-50 chance that we could see a Solana ETF approval by the end of this year. Okay. 50-50. It's good, also not so good. But I do think after Ethereum, of course, Wall Street wants Solana, and there's really no reason why. Solana is not an ETF according to Solana is not a security based on some of these court rulings, right? Here's a recent one. Judge dismisses SEC claims that just because Binance had a BNB sale doesn't make it a security. And they came to this conclusion from the XRP case. Same thing. XRP had a ICO. Just because you have ICO doesn't make it automatically a security. So even BNB is not a security, XRP is not a security, well, then Solana is not a security either. Just because it had ICO doesn't make it a security. There's actual real use for Solana. It's powering the Solana network. The Sol token is used for transactions, gas fees, right? So I do think Solana is a non-security and it will get its ETF soon. And lastly, Coinbase. Coinbase has Coinbase derivatives now in the US. You know how like you can't leverage trade on any of the US based exchanges? Well, soon you will be able to. Coinbase derivatives will allow future trading of SHIB, Link, AVAX, Stellar, and DOT. So pretty soon, if you want to leverage trade these 5 crypto, you will be able to, which is actually quite amazing, I guess, even though they're kind of old. Anyways, guys, that is it. In case you're wondering about my background, no, I'm not in a jail cell. I'm not in I don't know, some forest or something. It's just this curtain and it's really light outside. But anyways, I'm in Vegas right now. I started out my other channel, I am George. So I used to post my house videos on there. A lot of people enjoyed it, but I can't do it anymore because too many stalkers. But I am going to start posting videos on my travels, random videos about my life that's non-crypto. So if you're interested in seeing that, you could go to I am George. There's a link in the description. But I am in Vegas, and I'm here for the UFC fight. So, and I do have a lot to say about various other things. So if you ever want to check it out, please do so. And I will see you guys tomorrow. No, I'll see you guys on Monday, right? And I'll still have a Sunday walk video on Sunday for you guys. So smash it a like, subscribe to the channel. Have a good one, guys. Bye bye.